Joey, what guest do you have on tonight that we're bringing on with us?
He is from Germany. So, and not only that, he's a very international family of investors. His wife is from China. Is she there tonight too, Martin, or is it just you, buddy?
It's just me tonight.
Well, great to have you tonight. So tell us a little bit about your background. Why'd you join Lifestyles?
Sure. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for having me tonight on the case study. And also thanks for having me as a member of Lifestyles. I'm eternally grateful. Just a few short years ago, I was in your seats. Since joining, it's really changed my life. So my wife and I joined Lifestyles in 2017 as Peng members. She's unfortunately not here because she's watching our 3-year-old, making sure he's not doing any nonsense. Since we joined, we bought 6 single-family homes and invested in 1 apartment deal as passive investors. And like Joey said, my background is in financial services, and my wife, she's an attorney. Yeah,
and I'm excited.
Then you don't want a divorce because she knows what to do.
That's true. Yeah.
All your assets.
Okay. If we could move to the next slide.
Martin and I, we're gonna have our kids. We're going to Saturdays. We got a group of investors with young kids. We're gonna go to the playground in Round Rock, and so that's pretty fun. We all kind of meet together.
So he lives up there in Austin with you, up in Round Rock?
He keeps it weird. He's probably wearing a dress like me right now. They're called sarongs.
Yes, I'm also in Austin.
Yeah, he keeps it weird.
So anyway, I guess
Lifestyles. What made you come to Lifestyles?
I guess my story, like Joey mentioned earlier, it's been a few years ago that I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was exposed to this whole idea of passive income, but I tried a few things at a time. I was really living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have any money saved up. I tried a few things that didn't require any money down, and I guess I followed my nose doing that. I kept trying a few more things. It didn't really seem like any of them worked, so I went back to the book and just kept reading it again, and suddenly started picking up on this idea of paying yourself first. So that was kind of my first big idea. Oh, I save a little bit every paycheck. Suddenly I had some money saved up, so I started putting it into stock investments. It did okay. It really didn't really go anywhere. I mean, I made some money, I lost some money. Suddenly tax season came around and I was like, wait, I made money, I lost money, but some of my losses are capped in terms of tax deductions. So I kept growing more and more unhappy with these investments, and eventually started looking on some podcasts, came across a Lifestyles Unlimited podcast and just started listening to Dell. And suddenly I heard about all these tax advantages. So I kept being very intrigued by it, and eventually went to a case study just like you. It started coming all together. So we eventually signed up as members, went to the 2-day, and joined as preferred investors.
When you went to the 2-day, did you go in person in Austin? Did you go in Dallas? Did you do it online? How did I teach it or did someone else teach it?
It was you who taught it, so it was in person in Austin.
Were you quiet in my seminar? Because I would have picked on you. It would have been fun.
I guess you might have guessed that I'm fairly introverted, so you probably didn't notice me in the seminar.
I think everyone wants to ask this question. I'm sorry to jump to questions, but could you say, get to the chopper?
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Good.
So let's talk about your property. Where is this property, first off? Where's Steve's Avenue? It's in San Antonio. You're up in Austin. How on earth did you buy that?
How does that work?
Sure. So that property, it was blasted out as in an email blast. So David didn't mention it earlier, but once you join as a member, Lifestyles has these realtors that keep sending out properties that they already analyzed, that they make sure they meet the criteria of investors. So this was a property sent out by Steve Sesserman and Crystal Warnock, who are two of the realtors at Lifestyles.
Oh, that's
so
a realtor.
I responded to it. Yeah, I responded to it, said I'm interested. So anyway, met up with them at a property. This property, it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, has a garage. The size, it's about 1,000 square feet. So we went out there. It's located in Highland Park.
Yep, I know there are a couple properties
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a real quick question for you, because you said Steve's estimate, he's one of our newer realtors.
Mhm.
How long ago did you buy this property? Was it like 5 years ago, or how long ago you buy this one?
No, it was a couple of months ago. I think it was shortly after they joined us realtors.
Oh, so wait, you bought a property in the middle of COVID, the worst economy ever.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's actually one thing I learned while being a member of Lifestyles. In real estate, we really don't care about what the economy does. So
Exactly. Your own economy. Thank you. Good. I just want to see.
I have a couple of other properties. So far, they've all been doing well, and I think out of COVID, they'll be doing even better.
Because everyone needs a place to live. Is that true? And what?
That's very true. It's this property. I didn't mention it yet, but I put a sign up for rent, and I pretty much had it rented within 2 days. I mean, it's on a busy road. I kept getting calls, and it was rented fairly quickly.
And this is great, because if you're new, you're like, how hard is the rent? During COVID, he had no problem finding a renter. And just so you know how we mitigate our risk, why we survived COVID, we only rent to the middle class. You'll learn more about that. We don't do the low end stuff. We don't do the high end stuff. We do the middle class. That's your essential workers. That's who our renters are. That's how we survive while everybody else got in trouble. So let's take a look at some pictures. There's before and after, right?
Sure. Yeah. So this property, it's left us before, right as after the repairs. It really didn't need a lot of repairs. So one of the things about most of the Lifestyles realtors, they're generally very conservative. So when Steve and Crystal sent out this property package, they were estimating it's $25,000 in repairs, and the numbers made sense with that. So when we went out, it really turned out it didn't need a lot of repairs. I mean, it was some siding, some paint, but it was essentially rent ready. I mean, I got it rented before even doing the rehab. So
you're kidding. Oh, I didn't hear that part. So how much, you didn't spend as much on rehab then?
No, it wasn't 25,000. It ended up being about 10,000.
Good.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Martin, here's a question for you, because there's a lot of new people in the room. Okay. How much of this work did you do yourself?
I didn't do any of it. I mean, there are all these vendors and people that are helping to get the process done. Like I said earlier, I live in Austin. I can't be down in San Antonio all the time. So most of it, I mean, I looked at it in person. I probably wouldn't buy a property without looking at it, but after I bought it, a lot of it, I really didn't have to be there.
Exactly. So for the new folks that don't understand this, we are here to be investors. We're not here to get another job. You saw those vendors up there? There's like half of what we really have. There's a lot more than that, but I guess COVID, half of them died. No, they were probably, couldn't get through traffic, whatever. But the point is, he formed a team. He hired all the vendors. Your job is just to write a check. Who can do that? Yeah, we're here to be investors, not here to do the work ourselves. So you guys want to share some of those numbers and what they mean?
Oh, yeah. Sure. So I guess the appraised value, which is essentially after the repairs were done, it came in at 174,000. I bought it for 125. So it was an off-market deal that was brought to Steve and Crystal by a wholesaler. The equity, it had 49,000 in equity capture. Then the rehab, it was 10,000.
Yep.
Closing costs, it's probably a little higher this time, but it still made sense. I mean, repairs were lower than what was initially sent out. Closing costs were higher. The numbers were still better than what was sent out in the initial package. So there's an unrealized capital gain of close to 20,000. It cash flows 1,400 a month. It cash flows 382 per month, and I bought it for about 25,000 out of pocket. So that's roughly an 18.2% cash on cash return and a 78% capital gain.
Not too bad. Better than a sharp stick in the eye, huh?
So guys, remember when I did my speech? I said, what does the greenhouse make between what and what? 200 to 600. He's making 382. Now he put out 25 grand of hard-earned money, and he's making 382 a month or 4,500 bucks a year. That's 18% return, tax-free income. Who'd like to make 18% a year? Give him a hand. That's pretty good money, right? But not only that, when he sells the property, that's making money 5 ways, but instantly he captured 19,000 capital gains. In other words, he has a 78% return the second he sells his property. Is that pretty cool too? Do you think the house is going to go up in value each year? He'll have over 100% return in a year or two. Who agrees? See how you can do that? Awesome. Good job.
It's awesome.
And you only bought 1 property, correct?
No, sir.
No, I currently have 6.
Next
Can I go
slide,
then?
please.
Okay. So if we go to the,
Schnell.
There's all 6 of them.
okay, so these are all the 6 properties. That's really in the order in which I bought them. And I didn't buy all of them from Steve. It was different realtors that sent them out.
Right.
I worked with them. So Glenhurst is a 4-plex. That's the first property I bought.
Okay.
It's a nice cash flow. It's probably not as heavy on the capital gain. The other ones are all single family properties.
That's juicy. And that's not all, right? You have a multifamily passive deal too that's not even included in there.
Yes, there's also a multi-family passive deal. It hasn't yet paid out because we just got into it a few months ago. So it's not listed here. But once that starts having distributions, it will eventually be listed or
But if you
will also be contributing.
look at your cash flow, all that together is an extra 37 grand a year. In other words, your boss didn't give you a raise. You gave yourself a raise of 37 grand. Who'd like an extra 37 grand a year in tax-free income? Give him a hand. That's pretty huge.
Heck yeah. Martin Abel. Number 1.
Plus the capital gains in there. He made over $200,000 worth of equity. Is that pretty good too? That's pretty good. Are you like 70 years old and you made 200 grand, or how old are you?
No, I'm 35. Oh.
Holy crap.
And feeling alive.
Who wishes your young kid at 35 would have an extra 200 grand, just invest in a couple of properties? Not bad. Really quick, before we go to the next slide, what advice would you give to the new people that are coming to my seminar this weekend? What advice would you give the new folks? Do it in your good German accent.
I would probably say, at least for myself, if I had to do it over again, I would skip all this other crap that I tried prior to Lifestyles and join as quickly as possible. Get started in buying cash flowing assets. I feel like that's really been life changing for me. And within Lifestyles, I know plenty of other people who had a similar experience.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I just got scared. All the things went blank. I think it was the people from the IRS or the IRAs or the whatever going after you. ERCOT telling us there's too many screens going on? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. What's the next slide? So who's on your team? Anybody you want to thank?
I mean, I didn't list all the people. It's probably first of you, David. I feel like without you, you really taught me all the things how to evaluate a property, buy it. Then in terms of the team, I work with different people. Joey, most recently, I also talked to some of the other mentors. It's really not limited to any mentor. I usually email a few mentors, and whoever responds earliest, that's a person I work with. I think they're all very qualified mentors.
Are you cheating on me, Martin?
He used them all.
Man, wow.
Legend back there. Is that Jim Vaughn? Give him a hand, everybody, real quick. Sorry, it's all that.
Jim Vaughn's in there?
Yeah, Jim Vaughn, Joey. He's come in person.
Oh man, dang it! Please make the next one, Jim.
Cool. Well, then in terms of the realtors, I really work with different realtors. I mean, Craig and Chris Trimble. I bought a few properties with them. Casey, I bought one with. Trey, I met with him on a few properties I haven't yet bought one with, but he's one of the very active realtors. Crystal and Steve most recently.
You went down the whole list of every single Lifestyles realtor. About half of them bought a property from each one, so
he gets around.
Not bad.
I mean, that's really whoever sends out a property that meets my criteria when I have money to invest, which is really, once you're a member, there are usually a couple of properties sent out a week. I mean, it's.
Yep. And folks, I'll teach you about that this weekend. He's talking about something called email blast. These realtors of Lifestyle send out deals all the time, and he just bought it from all these different realtors. Who would like to get deals already evaluated? You can just buy them. Saves a lot of time, right? I'll talk more about that during the seminar. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, these property blasts, it's usually the realtors already clearly put their numbers. here's how much you need out of money, here's your capital gain, your cash on cash return, which makes it fairly easy to evaluate. It's within a minute or so, you already get a sense, oh, that's an area, or those numbers make sense for me. So you respond, they get back to you, you get a tag, then if you are first, you get to make an offer on that property. It's really easy.
With German efficiency.
Yeah.
Click back where I can click.
For the lender, I've used Reddoor Funding. Price, I think he's here tonight.
Bryce.
He's been really super helpful. He's been giving me guidance in terms of the contractors to work with. Been telling me, oh, don't use that contractor, or find a different contractor, that type of thing. He's been making it super easy on the draw processes. Like David said earlier, I haven't been to most of these properties in some time. So he's going out, he's checking on the contractors, making sure the repairs are done, which makes it really easy.
So basically what you're saying is you learn to form a team. We want you to do this for yourself, but don't do it by yourself. You're really bringing the whole model that we teach here at Lifestyles. You followed it to a T. I mean, that's an awesome job. So what's next for you? What do you really want to do? What's your goal?
I guess for now, create more passive income. We are currently saving to get into another passive deal, buy more single family properties, really create enough cash flow that we could comfortably step away from our day jobs and just be real estate investors.
Oh, I love the Tyrannosaurus Rex head.
Yeah, so
the little boy's in there, right? He's getting eaten.
He is. It's not really clearly visible on the picture, but he is in there.
He's about to die.
Yeah. So, are you guys ready to take some questions? Whoops.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody in the room have questions, or anybody online? If you have any questions, I will come around. Anybody? Bueller?
I got a question. I can read
online. So Danielle is going to ask me questions for you online, folks.
This question is from Buja, and it says, Martin, what is your criteria for going into a property? Did all of these meet your criteria initially?
I would say it's probably a strategy I developed by being a member of Lifestyles. I initially was a little bit scared of doing bigger rehab projects, so the first property I bought really didn't need a lot of rehab. I would say my strategy has changed more recently. I've been targeting more bigger rehab projects, which also usually means bigger equity capture.
Yeah, and we normally say that too, Martin. Oh, there you are, Danielle. What's up, sister?
Oh, she found her trap. Look at that.
Yes, welcome. Hey, so we were just saying, like, for new members, if you have no real estate background, no construction background, we normally will do exactly what Martin did, which is, for your first property, let's just do a base hit. Let's not go too crazy. And, it's just like when you go skiing, right? You start the bunny slopes and you eventually go up to that, the double black diamond. Martin just progressively was able to take on like larger rehab properties that have a little bit more meat on the bone with the capital gain. So that's exactly what we want you to do, Martin, is not go too crazy on your first one, and it builds your confidence up and you get really excited about the next one.
All right, let's do one more question, Danielle. Time-wise.
Well, real quickly, Buja also asked, Martin, are all of your properties in San Antonio?
The question was all your properties in San Antonio? I'm just going to repeat it.
Yes, they are all in San Antonio. Anyone familiar with the Austin area probably knows that it's really hard to find a cash flowing property in Austin. So
Austin's expensive still.
Yep. Yes.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for having us.